it's Adriana, and my number 6 of all time is Margaret. I'm so excited to review this movie because it's so new to me, but I love it so much, inexplicably so much. Margaret is a film that came out in 2011. But it had like a million issues going on with the screenplay being too long. It was 3 hours long and like theaters wouldn't release it and they had lawsuits in the editing process and all this weird stuff that should not have happened to this movie because this movie deserves to be seen. It barely got released in 2011. It is barely seen by anybody, which is like such a shame. I only saw it like a couple months ago and like, why? I should have seen this so much longer ago. This should have been nominated for Oscars. It should have won Oscars. It should have been in the forefront, but it wasn't. It just completely got overlooked. Completely. I can't think of another movie that has been more overlooked that deserved more not to be overlooked. It's just completely a shame. And so I want you all to please watch this movie however you find a way to watch it. I have only seen the theatrical cut of the movie, which I obviously love so much. But I am dying to see the extended version, the director's version, the original version of this movie, which apparently is available on DVD in the States. I'm in Canada, and our version of it, apparently there's like some glitch on the DVD where it says it has the extended version, but it's actually the theatrical version. So I'm going to have to order that in or something, because people say the extended version is even more amazing, and it covers certain things that are a little brushed over in the version of the movie that I saw. So if that version is any more amazing than what I saw, then I need to see it, because this movie blew my mind. It just blew me away. Like, I watched this, and I don't think I've ever cried so much in a movie, and this movie isn't even sad. It's not a sad, depressing movie. It's not. It's just, it's really bleakly real in some ways. It kind of alludes to being an opera, and there's this whole theme of opera in the movie. It's a very grand scheme of a film. What it's about is a girl, 17-year-old girl, named Lisa Cohen, played by Anna Paquin. She's not named Margaret. I know, that was really misleading. I totally thought Anna Paquin was Margaret, but she's not. And she plays Lisa Cohen, and Lisa Cohen kind of causes a bus accident. Completely accidentally, completely just one of those, split-second things that just happens. The bus accident results in the death of a woman, just a woman walking on the street. The scene of the bus accident and of the woman dying, I don't think I've ever seen a more real, heart-wrenching death in a movie. Like, I was crying uncontrollably during this scene, and it was so awful and heartbreaking and real and everything. Just, oh my god, I couldn't even fathom it. It was just, and it's something that, it's already a scary thing because stuff like that happens all the time. There's car accidents or whatever, pedestrians get hit by cars. Stuff like this is just so completely plausible, happens all the time. You hear it in the news and you don't even think that hard about it. It's like, oh shit, that sucks, but like, there's not much you can really do about it. It's not a very like profound way to die, which is actually something they talk about in the movie. Just how senseless and meaningless these accidents are, and how it's so unfair for someone to die like that. It's already something, like, as a driver, like, something that it's scary to think about, like, how easy it is for something like that to happen. So there's that reality of it. There's also just this movie, the way it deals with this, the way Anna Paquin's character of Lisa, first of all, Anna Paquin, I have never really even seen her in anything other than, like, Fly Away Home, that movie with, like, chicks or whatever. I don't watch True Blood, and I haven't seen The Piano, which she, like, I guess she won an Oscar when she was, like, 10 or something crazy like that. I'm not too familiar with Anna Paquin and her work. I know her, but this is the first time I've ever really seen her in anything. And she was friggin' incredible in this movie. she should have won the Oscar that year. I don't even know. I don't even remember what year it was, who was nominated. She was so good. The conflict that this creates for her character and like the guilt that she holds, even though it's not completely her fault, but just the way that she sees the world differently and nothing really means anything anymore, just being confronted with death so head on the way she was, it's just crazy, the repercussions of it in her life. And I mean, it's not that she loses meaning of everything, because she, the movie is really it's about her life and how, like, it proceeds after this accident, but it's also about her trying to get the bus driver, who was the guy who was driving the bus, to basically pay for what he did. She makes it like her mission to like find out more about this woman who died and to make sure that justice is served and all this stuff. And she has this huge guilt within her like throughout the whole movie, and it just really affects the way the rest of her life goes. And her mother, who is really the actress who plays her mother, I think she's like more of a stage actress, J. Smith Cameron. She's an amazing actress. She is so good in this movie, too. All the acting in this movie is incredible. You have Mark Ruffalo's in it briefly, Matt Damon's in it briefly, Matthew Broderick's in it briefly. The acting is all around so incredible. The screenplay is so incredible. It deals with so many things, the adolescence and life and the meaning of life and, like, philosophy, and I guess that's why I love philosophy, so I love that so much. And death and, like, what death does to you, to those who are still alive and who are affected by it. It just, oh my god, this movie is incredible. It's beautiful. It's criminally underseen. Criminally. I want to make it my mission to make people watch this movie, because it is something, like, special. It is so special. And, I mean, watched it 2 months ago, and I knew, I was like, this is one of my favorite movies ever. The ending, the last scene is just so beautiful and heartbreaking, and Kenneth Lonergan, what a talent he is, the writer and director of this movie. I can't wait for him to make another movie, and if it's 3 hours long, too bad, like, make that movie. He is incredible, he's so smart. If you're wondering about the name Margaret, the title of the movie, it comes from a poem called Spring and Fall to a Young Child, which is actually read by Matthew Broderick, who plays the English teacher. He reads this poem to his class. And the poem is just so completely beautiful, and it completely really kind of speaks to the situation of the film. I would just recommend you to go Google that poem, because it's a truly beautiful poem. The score of this movie is so beautiful, and just the filming of it, it's just so real. It really captures a really, really honest portrayal of adolescence, of being a teenager, and a Paquin, and all the other characters who play teenagers. There's, like, Olivia Thirlby's in this, and Kieran Culkin. Just so many great, and they show, like, classroom scenes where they have debates, and you see, like, these teenagers who are so smart and who are well-spoken, and they're such real people in a way it's very different from other films that kind of portray teenagers as kind of stupid and shallow and you know, not nearly as intelligent as they're portrayed in this film, which is so refreshing to see. She's just like this teenager in this really, really adult situation, and she handles it not always very gracefully. I mean, the character of Lisa is kind of all over the place, but in a way that is true, that she should be all over the place. She's going through so much. She has all this burden on her shoulders, school and the guilt of what happened and just dealing with what happened and having to watch someone die and like all this stuff that she goes through. And sometimes you don't like her character that much because she just seems a little bit crazy, but like who wouldn't even be crazy in that situation? She's just so honestly written and acted and everything. But Margaret is one of my favorite films of all time. I put it at number 6 on this list, but it may go higher. I guess you can tell how passionate I feel about this movie. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this. Please go watch Margaret because I love it so much and I was so excited to review it. And tomorrow, my number 5 video will be up. So thank you for watching this series and everything. And please comment if you agree or disagree. If you hate this movie, if you've seen it, if you love this movie, you've seen it. I want to talk to you either way. So yeah, thanks so much.